To the husbands and the single brothers about to get married, Paul says, husbands, love your wife even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it, that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word, that he might present it to himself as a glorious church, without spot or wrinkle or any of such, but that it should be holy and without blemish. So men ought to love their wives as their own bodies. He who loves his wife loves himself, for no man ever yet hates his own flesh, but nourishes and cherishes it, even as the Lord loves the church. That sounds more like a job, an assignment, than a honeymoon or a bed of roses. Husbands are to love their wives as Christ loved the church and died for the church. Question: at what point did Christ die for the church? When we, the church, were yet sinners. But God demonstrated his love for us in this: while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. Brothers, that means when our wives are at their most nagging, disrespectful, and worst state, that is when we ought to demonstrate our love for them to the point of dying for them. And not only when they are most behaved, submissive, and good looking. God expects us husbands not only to love our wives when they are at their worst stage, but also it is our responsibility to cater for them and nurture them into the glorious being which they are. We are not allowed to tarnish their image or speak ill of our wives to our families, our friends, and so on. Rather, it is our task to help them bring out the glory in them. He who loves his wife loves himself, for no one hates his own self, but rather nourishes and takes care of his body. No wonder God said in Genesis, therefore a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. Notice God never mentioned the wife leaving her parents. This is because the husband steps in and assumes the position of the parent, the position of the father of the wife, and continues to cater and nourish the wife. Come to think of it, on a wedding day, the lady is called a bride, the gentleman is called a bridegroom, because that is his task. From that day forward, it is his assignment to groom his bride. Single ladies, this is what it takes to be married. Are you ready for marriage? Are you ready to be submissive to your husband's authority in everything? Single brother, are you ready to love your wife more when she's most disrespectful, when she's most nagging, when she is at her worst state to the point you are ready to die for her? Are you ready to take over the task the parents of your wife had? Now, this might explain why God is starting to bring to you a spouse, because he's preparing you for marriage. And to us husbands and wives, this scripture has served as an assessment tool for us to examine ourselves. Have we been keeping to our own task in the marriage? Have we been holding to our own responsibilities? Are we ready for marriage?
Join us in spreading the life-changing power of the gospel. If you're in need of prayer, a listening ear, or a Bible study companion, we've got you covered. Check the numbers on your screen. Thank you for tuning in today. Stay connected with us for more faith-filled content, and don't forget to hit subscribe so you never miss an episode of Go and Multiply. See you next time. Keep shining for Christ.